procedure for individuals to delete the entirety of their internet and social media footprint. We call on the Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, the only things in life that are permanent is death, AIDS, and your internet footprint. And Elaine and I have a problem when something as personal as your internet usage becomes documented on a permanent basis. And that is why we're going to implement a policy that allows you to get rid of everything as permanent as the internet makes it. The motion today is this House would establish an easily performed procedure for individuals to delete their entirety of their internet and social media footprint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to specifically quickly go into this idea of how we're going to do this. Then I'm going to look at the nature of the internet and the idea of consent in the internet. And my partner, Elaine, will talk about the safety issues on the internet, the judgment idea of how you progress throughout life, how people judge you throughout life, and then the element of choice. But first, let me define and set up a bit of a policy. So when we look at establish an easily performed procedure, we don't feel this is important, but however, we will quickly we had a policy where we go and we say, okay, what we will do is we will allow you the quick option to press a button on your internet that will delete your entire internet and social media footprint. This is then a process which happens over a week, so not now. So after a week, if you just, like before the end of the week, you decided you don't want it to be deleted, you can then stop it and not have it deleted. But the moment when after the week is done and it is deleted, you can then use the internet again, but only after 5 years or more you can delete it. So the rules are an idea. You're going to do something, delete your footprint, do something, delete your footprint, right? And then specifically when we look at the internet and social media footprints, and this is an important definition you need to have. An internet footprint happens the moment when you enter something into Google. Google saves your IP address and what you search. A social media footprint is the moment when you log into Facebook and just think about registering Facebook, just to like someone's post. That is not now. That is what we mean with a footprint. And we see this is problematic, and I'm going to explain this to you why. And this is my first argument. It's the nature of the internet. Yes.
Sean, just tell us, why is it that you can't do or press this refresh button every day or whenever you want to?
So specifically, we don't want to create something for people where they can do illegal stuff on the internet and delete their footprint, right? So we want to say that, okay, so we believe that you made choices maybe somewhere that influenced you badly and created a bad footprint for you online. But we're giving you an opportunity to get rid of it, but we don't want you to misuse this opportunity, so only every 5 years you allow to do this, right? So my first argument is the nature of the internet. And so all people underestimate the colossality of the internet. And nobody in this room knows that only 3% of things on the internet is searchable by Google or Yahoo. The other 97% of things on the internet is unsearchable, isn't that easily to get by. So just the amount of things you can search on Google, which is already a huge amount, shows you the colossality of the internet. We have trillions and trillions of sites and billions of users on Facebook and on Instagram and stuff like that. It's a big platform. And the problem here is people are not informed about the internet's reach, right? People aren't informed about when I upload something onto Facebook. The amount of people that has access to it. When I just search something on Google, the amount of privacy companies or secure companies or companies like Google that can access what I type into Google. And we see this as a problem, mainly when we look at the footprint. The footprint is created in the moment that you type anything into Google, right? So when I type in balls, and I want rugby balls, but that is not the type of balls that's coming up on my screen. It's documented as part of my footprint. The moment I make a post, I like someone's post accidentally because I stalked them on Facebook, that becomes part of my footprint, right? So this happens when a 13-year-old boy starts watching porn. He doesn't know what he's doing when he's registering on the internet, on a porn site, or sending his pic to random strangers. What's happening is, in that instance, in his innocence, the 13-year-old boy, he's creating a footprint for him that can be damaging in the future. Because one day that footprint might create an occurrence where things can come back to haunt him. People can send him that picture again, he send out to strangers. So we see this as a problem, right? Because people aren't informed about what the internet does. We see when we have users that are as small as the age of 5, using the internet, that has no clue about what they're doing. We see it's unfair to tell them we're going to permanently document everything you do. It's unfair. Why? Because now people are being punished for something that they did not know they were doing. So something when I did when I was 5 years old on the internet will be still haunting me the moment I am 35, grown up. I'll take from closing, a grown up, right? Yeah.
Is porn illegal?
Is what?
Porn illegal?
So we don't care if porn is legal or not illegal. The problem is the moment I have some weird, freaky porn fetish about feet or I don't know, whatever, some 50 Shades of Grey thing. The moment when that information is leaked because something comes back to me, people find out via my footprint, my social media footprint, or my internet footprint, because of something I was interested in or accidentally searched when I was younger. The moment people, for example, my boss, won't appoint me because I'm some freakish person, I will be judged and I won't be seen as an equal, I will be seen as a freak due to what I did a few years ago. But Elaine will specifically go on to that idea of judgment and why you can't judge someone for what they did throughout different life phases. Now my second argument is why internet doesn't ask you consent.
For information.
No, not consent. So the moment that Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, they don't ask your consent to use your personal information. So you can enter your personal information, you can make a status update, you can use the Facebook update, you can like someone's page, but they don't ask you for your consent to use that information, to distribute that information, and to use it for other means. You see this with direct marketing. Loads of companies buy shares into Google, and at the moment when you register at Google, your information is given to other companies. Google doesn't ask your permission, and this is more important. Google does not ask your permission for them to document your searches. Now we see this is a problem because this is consent. It's unfair to create something that could be so damaging to someone because of something that could either be out of neglect or something that you may have done when you were younger and you had not the grown-up capabilities to decide upon it. But that will be something that you are judged upon. And we see this is why I want to give people the option to go, I want to clear everything what I did on my internet and social media footprint. Why? Because I may have done stupid things, and I may have done irresponsible things, or I may have neglected some stuff, right? But I don't want to be judged on that because that is detrimental to my future, and we believe in giving people and believe in judging people for what they are now and not what they were.
We thank the Prime Minister. We now call on Leader of Opposition.
What you and I believe here today is that to wipe away your footprint, your internet and social media footprint, in essence what you do is you lose three things here. You lose accountability, we lose accuracy, and not only that, but we also lose the essential element of being able to hold those accountable for what they say and what they do. And before we get into those three arguments, let's go into 3 points of rebuttal here. Sean makes this point about what happens if they made a mistake and they typed in some granny porn or typed in some mistake because they weren't informed. Firstly, on that point, the policy of then resetting it every 5 years doesn't help, because if he, from his premise, saying that if people make these silly mistakes, then regardless of those 5-year policies, if it's only every 5 years that he's saying that they make these small mistakes continuously, then we have to ask that at what point then, if they make that same silly mistake again, then they can't renew it anyway. So they're going to be stuck with that mistake from the get-go. You're saying that they're accident prone. So it fails in terms of that, but also that these things, these people aren't informed in the first place. I think we live in a new modern age society and technology where many people, when they have access to the internet, don't type in Google, don't think, oh, okay, I don't know how to use the internet, let me type in granny porn here, for example. But many people are informed. We see people that create social media accounts. We see that many people know how to use the computer in the first place, and technology in the first place. So the fact that they're uninformed is not necessarily true, right?
Order.
And the thing is also, they don't ask for consent as
Order.
It's also important to understand that he's saying that Google won't be able to get your image or won't be able to get your information. So regardless if you reset it now, let's say you make now a new account, they can still go find it anyways again, this new account, a new thing that you've created in that regard. But even if you destroy that profile from the get-go, they will obtain your information through other ways and trying to monitor you in the first place. So it doesn't deal with that anymore and wanting it in the first place. And this third point is very important, that we don't want then people to be judged. And this is going to lead nicely to my first argument. It's important that people get judged for what they say on the internet, just as what you get judged for what you say in real life to someone. Because when you are judged for what you say in real life to someone, that allows you to be held more accountable, because in real life, when you say something to someone, that's that social and that facial interaction. I'm going to also explain why that's important before that opening. Yes.
So the 5-year interval allows for people to still be held accountable for what they say on the internet.
No, that's the thing. They don't get held accountable, and I'm going to explain that now in my first argument here about what happens when the hunter can't track the animal. So this is important to understand that we see that the internet is becoming a daily part of our lives, a continuous part engrossing around us, that everything that we do has become part of technology, become part of how massive the internet has become. It's important to understand here, we see a new trend developing, that with what I say in real life is held accountable for, but also what I say on social media and what I say on the internet is held to account. And why is that important here? For example, when Kevin Peterson insults the selector of the English cricket board, and he insults him, the English selectors can then go and say, this was said about us, this is a gross misconduct of team conduct, meaning we held him accountable, we drop him from the team. What happens under their policy when they delete that footprint, Kevin Peterson deletes that footprint completely, is that he doesn't allow himself to be held accountable. It's just as bad as in real life as if I say something offensive to someone. And this is important to understand. We have a growing problem on the internet where people continuously say things to one another but don't hold account for one another because they think they can get away with it. Even more so now when you can delete and have your footprint taken away now. So we believe it's also, we have another example here of when a woman is on
Order.
Thanks, Sean, just a second.
Sean.
It's important to understand that also in regards to a woman that was targeted, that said, a man said on Facebook, threatened her and said, I'm going to kill you, rape you, and murder you in that regard. And then later found out that that woman did die 3 days later. If a man like that is able to remove his proof, we lose the accountability and the evidence that we had in the first place when you remove it. We lose that critical opportunity to hold you accountable for when we need to do so.
Don't you think that there are more concrete things to hold people accountable to than social media profiles?
No, it's very much we hold people accountable for social media profiles because it's become such a major part of our lives today. It's becoming an integral part today. Where we base our entire lives and we have causes based around social media. Where we have everything that we post on social media, our lives, who we're dating, who our family is. Social media is becoming an integral part. It's important as the internet is expanding and growing in size because of the massive dimension of it, we have to be holding these people accountable. Right. The second thing that we also would like to show you here is that when we find a culture on the internet, for example, insulting and trolling and people not caring for what they say on the internet, we already see that many sites such as YouTube and Yahoo are trying to step in and say that we need to take action, we need to moderate these comments, we need to allow this to be shot in the foot from the get-go. And what we see is that what this policy will do is further allow people to say and do as they please. Why is that harmful? Because if I say and do as I please, I'm not held accountable. I can say as many offensive things as I want to be able to delete this profile regardless, right? So we see that that's a problem in terms of accountability here, that people in real life, the social interaction is whatever I say to you, I should be held accountable for that. If I post something, I don't have the ability then to take away all that I said, right? But also this next point that we want to bring to you today is how would we promote more accurate information? What we see here is that on the internet we have a great ability or a great number of inaccurate information. So what we see is that with this immense amount of inaccurate information, this can only just increase when people have the propensity and the ideology that they can just continuously wipe out their social footprint in the first place. Because it's a get out of jail card for these people in the first place. Why they're saying that. It's important to understand that we promote more accurate and credible information for these people when they are held to account for what they say. Because when I put what I say out there, that it's there. It is not taken away. It's being put out there to be judged And just as it is to be judged in real life when I speak, it should be judged on the platform that I placed it on, with regards to the internet and with regards to social media. So with regards to more accurate information, we believe that you get more accurate information from these people when they have the fear or they do not have the backdoor option so that we can remove any footprint that we might have. It makes people think twice to think, wait a second, if they don't have the back door that I can remove my social profile whenever I feel or whenever I want to now because I've said something wrong, it's important to understand that we have greater information from people and have a greater fear of what they may or may not post when you can't delete it, when it is as permanent as it may be. For all these reasons so far, we're proud to post.
Very bad, so please keep it down when you are talking to one another, and when I call order, I'm probably referring to you, sure. Okay. We thank the Leader of Opposition. We now call on the Deputy Prime Minister.
Okay, so what OO said most of all is the fact about, the point about accountability. Okay, well, in the first place, the policy said that you can't delete every day. You can delete every 5 years, or and you have the choice of cancelling that deletion in a period of 5 days. Okay, so first of all, you can't delete every day. So if a person makes a mistake again and again and again, the same stupid mistakes, you won't be able to delete it every day. And his true colours will show if he hasn't learned from his previous mistakes. Okay, so accountability falls flat there. Furthermore, the point about saying offensive things, and they should be held accountable for that. I felt that that you also said that it is a get out of jail free card. So that's a kind of a contradiction, because if they have the opportunity to delete these offensive things they say, it's not there on the internet every day for other people to see for years and years to come, hurting the person again and again.
Point of information.
So offensive things can be deleted, and it's not necessarily just a get out of jail free card, it's also saving the person that got hurt from that hurt repeating itself. Not now. It's also clearing the internet of inaccurate information, because if you have the opportunity to delete these offensive things or inaccurate information that was posted on the internet, you clear the internet of the inaccurate information. Okay, then to get to our own points, the point about judgment. When people are young, people go through different stages of their lives. When people are young, they make mistakes. Like Sean said, a young boy Googling porn or something. Every boy goes through that stage. So we want to give people the opportunity to, not now, to delete this footprint they leave on the internet, and not be judged on it one day when they are older and wiser. So young people also, if you take, for example, a student at university, not now, not now, John Mark. If you take a person, a young person, on a stage of enjoying life and going to parties and everything, people post photos of these people in these stages of life. You're only young once, so if you work hard and play hard, I don't see anything wrong with that. But you get judged based on these photos that go on the internet and can never be deleted fully. Not now, John Hawk. And
difference between the policy you're proposing and then deleting